Welcome to the most anticipated video of the year. Have you ever imagined that the leader of one of the most powerful countries in the world is being charged with a crime? Well, it's happening right now. In a groundbreaking move, the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for none other than Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. In this video, we'll dive deep into the reasons behind this historic decision, what it means for the world, and what could happen next. So get ready to uncover the truth behind this explosive news as we explore the ICC's decision to issue an arrest warrant for Putin. The International Criminal Court issued an arrest order for Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday, accusing him of war crimes for illegally deporting Ukrainian minors. The Hague-based ICC said it had also issued a warrant on similar accusations against Maria Lvova-Belova, Russia's presidential commissioner for children's rights. Moscow declared the orders void because Russia is not a member of the ICC. It was unclear whether or not Putin would ever face charges. President Vladimir Zelensky hailed the ICC ruling as a historic decision in war-torn Ukraine. The court's surprise announcement came only hours after other news that could have a huge impact on Russia's assault on Ukraine, including a visit to Moscow by Chinese President Xi Jinping and more fighter jets for Kyiv's army. According to the report, the atrocities were perpetrated in Ukraine beginning on February 24, 2022, when Russia launched its full-scale invasion. Moscow has refuted the claims and called the warrants absurd. The effort is unlikely to have any impact because the ICC has the authority to arrest individuals and can only exercise jurisdiction within its member countries, of which Russia is not one. However, it may have significant consequences for the president, such as preventing him from traveling internationally. The ICC stated in a statement that it had reasonable reasons to think Mr. Putin committed the crimes himself, as well as in collaboration with others. It also accused him of failing to use his presidential authority to prevent the deportation of children. When asked about the ICC's decision, U.S. Vice President Joe Biden responded, "Well, I think it's justified." He added that the United States is not a member of the ICC, but I think it makes a very strong point. Mr. Putin, he claimed, clearly committed war crimes. Maria Lvova-Belova, Russia's commissioner for children's rights, is also wanted by the ICC for the same offenses. She has already spoken openly about efforts to indoctrinate Ukrainian youngsters sent to Russia. Ms. Lvova-Belova said in September that some children transported from Mariupol spoke badly about the Russian president, said horrible things, and sang the Ukrainian anthem. She also claimed to have adopted a 15-year-old Mariupol kid. The ICC stated that it considered keeping the arrest warrants confidential at first, but decided to make them public in the event that it prevented more crimes from being committed. Children cannot be treated as spoils of war, and they cannot be deported. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan told the BBC, "This type of crime does not require one to be a lawyer. One only needs to be a human being to understand how heinous it is." He stated. The warrants drew immediate criticism from Kremlin officials, who dismissed them out of hand. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev compared the warrant to toilet paper, according to Dmitry Peskov, the court's spokesperson. "There's no need to explain where this paper should be used," he tweeted, including a toilet paper emoji. Russian opposition leaders, on the other hand, applauded the announcement. Ivan Zhdanov, a close supporter of imprisoned opposition leader Alexei Navalny, tweeted that it was a symbolic but significant step. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed gratitude to Mr. Khan and the criminal court for their decision to accuse state evil. Ukraine's Prosecutor General, Andriy Kostin, called the verdict historic for Ukraine, while Andriy Yermak, the country's presidential chief of staff, called it only the beginning. However, because Russia is not a signatory to the ICC, it is unlikely that Vladimir Putin or Maria Lvova-Belova will appear in The Hague. The ICC relies on government collaboration to arrest people, and Russia is obviously not going to cooperate in this regard, according to Jonathan Leader-Maynard, a lecturer in international politics at King's College London. Mr. Khan, on the other hand, pointed out that no one expected Slobodan Milosevic, the Serbian leader on trial for war crimes in Croatia, Bosnia, and Kosovo, to end up in The Hague. Those who believe they can commit a crime during the day and sleep soundly at night should consider history, he remarked. However, this does pose a legal difficulty for Mr. Putin. While he is the leader of a G20 country and is ready to shake hands with China's Xi Jinping in a historic encounter, Mr. Putin is still a wanted man, which will limit the countries he may visit. There is also some embarrassment for the Kremlin, which has constantly denied claims of Russian war crimes, that such a powerful pan-national authority as the ICC simply does not trust its denials. According to Kyiv, more than 16,000 Ukrainian children have been taken to Russia since the February 24, 2022 invasion, with many allegedly placed in institutions and foster families. According to ICC prosecutor Karim Khan, Putin is now subject to arrest if he enters any of the court's more than 120 member states. He stated that the arrest warrants were based on forensic evidence, scrutiny, and what those two individuals said. We presented evidence focusing on crimes against children. Children are the most vulnerable members of our society, Khan stated. The ICC stated that judges found reasonable grounds to accuse Putin of criminal wrongdoing and granted Khan's plea for the warrants on February 22. The execution of the warrants depends on international cooperation, according to ICC President Pyotr Hofmansky. During a mid-February meeting with Putin, Olvova Belova revealed that she had adopted a 15-year-old child from the destroyed Ukrainian port city of Mariupol. Now I know what it's like to be a mother of a Donbas child. It's a difficult job, but we love each other for sure, she told Putin. We evacuated children's homes into safe areas, arranged rehabilitation and prosthetics for them, and provided targeted humanitarian assistance, she continued. The ICC's arrest warrant for Putin, a sitting head of state of a UN Security Council member, is unusual. The International Criminal Court was established in 2002 as a court of last resort for the world's worst crimes when countries are unable or unwilling to pursue offenders. Just days after Russia's incursion, Prosecutor Khan opened an inquiry into possible war crimes and crimes against humanity in Ukraine. Khan recently shared photos from a trip to Ukraine, including vacant cots in an empty children's care home, and stated that investigating alleged child abductions was a priority. It's touching, he said. There are empty cribs and empty beds, juxtaposed with paintings on the walls by those children. Zelensky, who met Khan during his visit, hailed Khan's arrest warrants in Moscow, a historic decision, Zelensky remarked, from which historic responsibility will flow. Ukraine's Western allies praised the action as well, with Britain calling it welcome and the European Union calling it just the beginning. According to Human Rights Watch, it was a significant day for the many victims of Russian forces. The warrants were turned down by the Kremlin. Russia, like several other countries, does not recognize the jurisdiction of this court, and thus the decisions of this court are void from a legal standpoint. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev compared the warrants to toilet paper, while Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova stated that they have no meaning in Russia. The ICC's Khan, on the other hand, stated that there were so many examples of people who thought they were beyond the reach of the law. Look at Slobodan Milosevic, or Charles Taylor, or Radovan Karadzic, or Ratko Mladic, he continued, alluding to several former Yugoslavian war criminals, as well as former Liberian President Taylor, who have faced punishment. Earlier in the day, Beijing and Moscow announced that Chinese President Xi Jinping, a key friend, will visit Russia next week to sign agreements ushering in a new era of relations. The U.S. has accused China of considering arms shipments to support Russia's operations, something Beijing has categorically rejected. The arrest warrants were issued just one day after UN investigators concluded that Russia's forced transfer and deportation of Ukrainian minors to areas under its control constituted a war crime. According to the investigators, parents and children reported that Russian social services assured them that their children would be placed in foster care or adopted. Russia and Ukraine are neither members of the ICC, but Kyiv has acknowledged the court's authority and is cooperating with Khan's office. This is where we end this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.